What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for January 16th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
Games.
Oh man, what a great week, man. What a fun week. Let me tell you, wow.
Look, dude, I'm still coming down from Thursday's Direct and our reaction and our just regular show.
I know,
man.
I know. I have been looking on Amazon daily for the games that I want to pre-order them, and it's like that. Like, what frustrates me is all the games are up there except for Ys 8, right? It's not up there, and we don't know if it's like a retailer exclusive physical edition or not, just because it's like a game that's already been out or whatever. But like every other game I've been able to pre-order from that Direct, every single one. And the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze product page is up, right?
Yeah.
And it just says this product is not available. It's the only one. It has box art. The funny thing is like Tropical Freeze is the only game as of this recording.
Yes.
With box art, with a product description, screenshots. They even have like the Funky Kong stuff in there. They have like a key art for Funky Kong and his surfboard, and it's like, this is the only one I cannot pre-order. Why? Why?
Nintendo might have it on lock. Nintendo might have it on lock for pre-sale.
But like Mario Tennis Aces was available. Kirby's been available since almost launch or almost E3. Like, it's Kirby's been up since E3. Yoshi's up. Metroid Prime 4 is up for pre-order. Wolfenstein 2 is still up for pre-order. Why is Donkey Kong probably the flagship title of the spring for Nintendo? Why can't I pre-order it? I want to pre-order your game. Let me pre-order it.
Nintendo has it on lock for some kind of purpose. I don't know what it could be.
Oh man, but so I was telling you before the show started, I have so many games pre-ordered, and
1 month, the one day we're just waiting for that to happen.
I know. I'm like, I have so many games pre-ordered. I gave you that whole list, and like, Donkey Kong's the only one.
Look, I told my sister yesterday that it was coming to Switch, so now I got to spend $120. Like, I got to get 2 copies now.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, I just want to pre-order Donkey Kong. Just let me pre-order Donkey Kong. Man, Nintendo.
I'm surprised the GameStop don't have it on pre-order. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, even though I went there today, I'm not going to GameStop on a regular basis anymore. I have had enough issues with them, and I went to a different GameStop today though, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I guess I'll tell that story real quick. So in upcoming episodes, we're gonna do a segment of weekly pickups. What did we pick up this week for Nintendo or whatever, right? And so today I went to GameStop because my Disgaea 5 cartridge is like not being read by my Switch, and I tried it on multiple other Switches and it wasn't being read by anybody else, and I was like, come on, man, just come on. So I took it to GameStop and traded it for Axiom Verge, and it's funny because like they're doing like a promotional thing where if you trade like a couple things, if you trade in stuff, you get a certain percentage more or whatever. So I traded it in and got Axiom Verge, and I was like, well, this is somebody else's problem now. But I got Axiom Verge physical edition, so now I got to find a new copy of Disgaea 5.
Where mine's still in the case, wrapped up.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of that was fun after work today to go in there and just being like, hey, I'm trading my game in. I want new game. Thanks, bye. That's pretty much how it went. Oh my gosh, dude. And the employees there just looked so like, I don't want to be here today, like whatever. And then there's like this really kind of like annoying couple next to me trying to trade in a bunch of old PS3 sports games and like arguing with them because they wouldn't take them. I'm like, you're trying to trade in like 35 copies of NCAA football on PS3. Nobody's gonna take those, dude. Like,
right?
I don't. What do you want? Like you, like. I don't know.
This is the thing, because what would happen is those kind of games, they look like they're still wrapped up and haven't been touched or anything. That means they went to a retail store, bought them for clearance for like maybe $1 or $2 or something, and think that they could take them to GameStop to flip it and think they'll get more back. But I'm like,
I mean,
you only get about what, maybe 15 cents.
I mean, they wouldn't take them because they're worth less than like, I don't know, if a game is worth less than like 30 cents in trade, they don't take them, I guess. Like they're not, like they're just not allowed to take them. So like every PS3 sports game is worth like 3 cents, I was overhearing at GameStop. And they're like, it literally costs us more to ship these than to take them in, like to ship them into their warehouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, dude, these people like, they didn't look like they were all there anyway, but it was just like, come on, guys, you brought a backpack full of old sports games in here. They're not taking them in.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they're trying to flip it.
Yeah.
And what y'all gonna do with what $2.03 on the gift card? Like,
yeah,
what?
But anyways, yeah, that was just it was just kind of like annoying to watch. It's like, come on, guys, like it wasn't like they were. I mean, it wasn't like they were like popular PS3 games either. It was all sports games. So I'm just like, come on, dude, like just get over it, just go away. But anyways, Ed, what are you playing?
Okay, so for Xbox One, I kind of got to run through all each system and stuff. For Xbox One, I started up Lost Odyssey. Finally, played it for about maybe 45 minutes. It's going to be an interesting game because I don't know how many 15,000 cutscenes this game have. Like after every new screen I go into, so this is probably gonna be maybe a month and a half worth of a game I had to do and finish. I mean, I like what I played when I was fighting, learning this battle system. But I'm just like, I hope it's not take 5 steps, there's a cutscene. And I'm like, oh great, now another cutscene. And don't get me wrong, I'm ready to experience the game, but the cutscenes I'm just kind of worried about. Overdoing it is what I'm kind of worried about. So that's what I've been playing on Xbox One that I started up. Moving on to PS4, I did finish Titanfall 2. Just completely enjoyed that game. It didn't really take me that long to like really finish it, but beat it. Got some trophies. It looked like it said like I had 54% of trophies for that game. I'm like, that's weird. Sorry about that. Yakuza 0 got a little bit further into that game. I started up Uncharted Lost Legacy. Played that for a good while. Enjoying that. I got to just return to it and start working on it. It's still Uncharted. But this one is kind of better than the main with Nathan Drake. But I can't wait to explore more of the world and go through some of his puzzles and stuff like that. So I did that on PS4. Moving on to my 2DS, started up Monster Hunter Stories, getting a little bit further than that. It might actually take up my time from beating Dragon Quest 8 and Yokai Watch 2, because I am enjoying Monster Hunter Stories. Really, really good. I thought it was going to be an action RPG, but it's turn-based. But it has a Fire Emblem style to it. And what I like about it is that it shows you at the bottom which attack you want to do. So it has power, technical, and speed. Power beats tech, tech beats speed, speed beats power. And you kind of at first got to guess what is that monster is going to do for its attack. And if you hit one of the right ones, uh, you'll be able to get that first hit. If you guys hit the same one kind of at the same time, if it's equal balance, uh, you both lose energy. But if you beat out the opponent, they'll lose energy. Same though, if they beat yours, you lose energy. Cause that's that time when they both attack at the same time. It's not always like that. So I thought I was going to start out with, if people are seeing the trailer stuff, I thought I was going to start out with that dragon, but you don't start out with that. It recognized you as this mother and stuff, but then the game kind of starts with this bigger plot, and he kind of falls to the wayside. So I don't know if I'll get him back later on. I'm assuming I will, but I'm enjoying that. On Switch, playing more Xenoblade Chronicles 2, getting further in the game, but now I'm at a boss and getting my tail kicked, so now I gotta kind of grind. I need some more drivers. I gotta find out a way how to get some more. So now I'm doing some of the side quests and just building, gaining more levels for my characters, trying to get stronger. So been playing that. Are we into talking about also stuff that we picked up or anything, Corey? Or is that separate?
I mean, you can just do it now.
Okay, so picked up Graceful Explosion Machine, beat the first world, so now I'm working on the second one. I kind of did that on Larry's profile, but it was on sale, so I finally picked that up. Also picked up Golf Story. Getting more into that. I can understand this RPG, and the game is quite funny. It has a lot of good writing, and it kind of shows you what happened in the past, with the main character until what it is now. And do I cracked up at this part? So your character is talking to, I guess, his wife, ex-wife or girlfriend, and she calls him because she wants him to come pick up his stuff because he moved out, and he was just like, I have to come and get it because I don't have no space or doesn't have time. And she asked him, well, what are you doing for you not to come get your stuff? And there's small little letters on her bubble. It says, playing golf. She said, excuse me, what'd you say? Playing golf. One more time, say that a little bit louder. Then it says, playing golf. I must fulfill my question. And she just like, huh? And she bust out laughing. And I fell out. I was just like, wow, she just told this girl that he was playing golf. I was so ashamed of it. But it's really cute, really funny. So getting more into that. And the actual golfing is not that hard. It's really easy to learn with it. So just played a little bit of that. Picked up the Dragon Quest Builders demo. Really looking forward to this game. It's a lot of talking because it's the first chapter and it's a lot like training you and stuff. And what I like about it is that the main character is like, even though he don't say nothing, the voice that trying to speak to him is just like, my son, I must give you. Oh, you don't want to hear it, or you want to get into this. so it knows that it wants you to skip it, but it's just like, get to the point. Tell me so I could go. So it's doing that. So enjoying that. Just really loving that game. Picked up Blaster Master Zero. Haven't started it, but I played a little bit back last year when on Larry's Switch. So got that. Haven't started the Lost Sphere demo yet. I need to though. And there was another game that I picked up for Switch. Goodness, and I cannot think of it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing at this moment. So juggling multiple games at this time. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Nice. For me, yesterday it was like kind of bittersweet for Zelda. Like I finished Zelda, and like by finished Zelda, I well, after we recorded our last episode,
Uh-huh.
I played through the Champions Ballad. Like, I was just crushing stuff through the Champions
my
Ballad.
God.
And I did the last two champion challenges, right? And then I went and like, dude, some of those challenges were really tough, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are some of the best shrines. These were some of the best shrines in the entire game. And then like, we jumped on an Xbox Live chat while I was playing Zelda.
And you was frustrated.
I was. Well, like, I had gone through the last like Divine Beast or whatever, and it's not really a Divine Beast, but I'm calling it that for the sake of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably one of the stronger ones, honestly. I thought, it was really fun and everything, and then I got to the end, and this is going to be a little bit spoilery for Champions Ballad. So I got to the end, and not real spoilery, but like, I don't know. I got to the end of the Divine Beast, and it ended like a shrine, like, with the little monk sitting in his little glass box or whatever. And you go up and you, like, I hit the button, like, I was like, oh, is this it? Am I done? And then all of a sudden, like, the screen turns black, and you go up to this big circular platform above Hyrule, and you're above the Shrine of Resurrection. And it was like, just looking out, because you're so high up. You are so high up above Hyrule, and you could literally see all of Hyrule from up here. And it's just like, I can't believe like you can see all of this from up here. And then all of a sudden, like, there's this intense fight with the monk guy, and you're like, what is happening? Like, and you were listening to me. I was getting like verbally frustrated to the point where I was like, I don't know if I can even like finish this. And I was watching the guy. I had up YouTube videos and wikis and everything of how to beat this guy, and like, I wasn't doing anything wrong in particularly, but this one video I found was like, you need to go get some food and make sure that you have speed, like, because he's really fast in the first couple things. In the first couple rounds, he like uses his speed to like throw you off, and you'll be able to dodge faster or whatever. And so I scanned every single amiibo I had, literally every single one.
Yeah, you did.
I cooked all the food. I waited for all of my special abilities to recharge, and then I went back into the fight fully prepared, and I probably was fighting him for a good like 20 or 25 minutes. It was definitely like one of the most challenging fights I've ever had in a Zelda game. Like, it's honestly, it was harder than anything I had done in Bloodborne, which I've been playing with Matt and Moose again. Mm-hmm. And it's literally harder than anything I've done in that game. It was just like, wow, this boss fight was hard, but I finished it. And as much as I've been I don't want to say I've been down on the DLC, but kind of like, it's okay for DLC, it's literally more Zelda, but the last cutscene you get makes it worth like the
heartache,
the purchase, and that boss fight. And then I unlocked the motorcycle and everything, and the picture I posted on Instagram and Facebook and stuff and Twitter is like the last moment of the DLC. And so like, it just kind of wrapped everything up and made it like really, really kind of like an emotional way to end that game. I was like, man, I've grown to like knowing these characters and make fun of some of them, and kind of like a lot of the other ones. And it's just like,
and that is that supposed to be the way that it leads to the first part of Breath of the Wild, in a sense?
No, the DLC takes place like the story of the DLC is Zelda going to each region and recruiting the champions. It's all like a memory for Link. And so like, you're watching Zelda recruit the champions to take on Ganon the first time.
Okay.
So it's almost like a prequel in a sense. where you're like kind of reliving Link's memories of Zelda recruiting the champions and kind of watching their story unfold. And it's not a lot of story, but it's enough to like say, wow, these cutscenes are really pretty still.
Right, because I thought that like it's supposed to lead into Breath of the Wild of Link falling asleep or Link being placed for that next 100 years till it's time for him to awaken.
Yeah, it just kind of leads up to. Honestly, it doesn't even lead up to that. It leads up to probably it leads up to like when you start playing the game and you start finding the memories.
Yes.
So whatever memory number 1 is, the DLC leads up to that.
Okay. Got you.
So like it leads up to Zelda is going to each region, and like Daruk's was kind of dumb. Mifa's was it didn't really it was cute, but it didn't really like land anywhere. But Rivali's was pretty cool, and who's the Gerudo? Urbosa, like hers was really cool and actually added a lot of story content to the game. And those were the last 2 that I did were Rivali's and Urbosa's, and they added a lot of story elements, and like you got to see like when you're doing Rivali's quest line, the cutscene you get, he's learning how to do Rivali's Gale, where if you're playing the game, you've done that Divine Beast, it's the one where you can create your own whirlwind to fly your glider. So that was cool, and you got to see, and it's snowing, so you got to see Zelda in a different kind of like a coat or whatever, like a winter outfit. Cool. And it was cool to see like them actually do different things with Zelda. But this game really made me want to play a whole game of Zelda in a way, because like, man, it was good.
Well, you'll be able to do that with the Hyrule Warrior Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch.
I know that's not the same though. But I did all that, and I feel kind of cheated out of it because like I got the motorcycle and I have nowhere to ride it because I beat it. So what I did was I yesterday I went back and finished the last trial of the sword, and holy crap, dude, I tried 3 times to beat that, and on the 3rd try I literally had half a heart left and beat it. It was so stressful. Like, you have to be good at that game to finish the master trials. Like, it was hard. So, but I don't know if I'm gonna play a master mode or not. I'm still debating on whether or not. But I've put 245 hours into this game. I think out of the amount of Switch games I have, it's time to move on to something else.
Yeah.
But man, Zelda is
look until Thanksgiving where we'll probably pop it in. It's just like, let's have a 1-year reflection.
Yeah.
have an accidental pod
2018 PAL Block Game of the Year, Breath of the Wild.
Right. Have an accidental pod and play. Just be like, goodness, this game is so good.
Yeah, I thought about doing a pod and play on the master mode, but just the opening of master mode, but I don't know yet. So we'll see. But so today or last night I started replaying Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle because the Donkey Kong DLC got me really excited. So I've been playing that too, and I've been playing Bloodborne on PS4 with Matt and Moose. So
Matt got on me because I told him that I was getting the Dark Souls remaster, and he was just like, "Finish Bloodborne and then we'll talk." And I was just like, "Ugh, you're evil."
Yeah, we on NGR this week. Matt was like, "Yeah, Ed probably likes Dark Souls now because it's on a Nintendo system." I was like, "Well, he is getting it." So.
And I told Matt, I was like, I own Dark Souls on PS3, so I'm like, it's not that I don't like. it's not like I don't like Bloodborne and I don't like the Dark Soul games or the Soul games in particular. It's not that I don't like that because Neo is great. I love Neo. I'm just having a hard time kind of with Bloodborne feeling slow, and it's mostly of just feeling slow and kind of repetitive. And I understand that, but the progress is just like, I want to get through this section. I don't want to do it the 15th time because of bad camera or something like that. Like, I kind of wanted to make a fair amount of progress, and it feels like Bloodborne doesn't allow me to do that. Where Neo is so fast and quick that my progress in that game feels like it's gonna make it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of all I've been playing, but I picked up what did I pick up this week? I picked up Axiom Verge this week, like I said, and then I purchased Super Meat Boy, which
Me too.
Which I'm
that's
really, really excited. So I have the list of, like, you know, my infamous list for Switch, yes. And then like I also have one for Wii U, Wii, and GameCube and 3DS. So, but my Switch one, it's filling in nicely. I still need to get Skyrim, and I need to repurchase Disgaea 5. I want to get Lumo and Knights of Azure 2 and Rocket League physical editions, and that's kind of it for games that are out now or like will be out by the time this podcast is out.
So you're not getting Tiny Barbarian It'll Do?
No.
Too?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I might get Tiny Barbarian at some point, but Super Meat Boy I feel like is way more polished. And like, I know they're not the same types of games, but like, you know, I've got enough to play already to add like something that looks interesting that I could probably get on an eShop sale 6 months from now. You know, I don't need a physical copy of Tiny Barbarians.
Okay. Only reason why, because I know you said you were trying to get all the physical for the Switch. So that's why I was just
most physical. I'm like not that my hype for Switch is dying down, because it's not, but I'm being more choosy on, like, for all of like the AAA style games, I'm going to get the physical games, all of them, you know, but like indies, I'll get the ones that I feel deserve my time as a physical copy. Like if Shovel Knight gets a physical copy, that's a must. Yeah, that's a must. You know, if Super Meat Boy gets a physical copy, I'll probably end up getting it. The end is nigh. I still haven't decided about getting a physical of that or not, because it's amazing and I love that team, but like that game just feels so, I don't know yet. It's too early. It's too early. Yeah. And then like, you know, I didn't what was the other one? What was the other main one that I was going to talk about getting a physical?
Yeah, because like
Axiom Verge. Axiom Verge was the one that was like, I need to get a physical copy of that because I love that game. And then so the other two would be like Shovel Knight and Yooka-Laylee, and you know, maybe something else later down the line. Like Shantae, I think is definitely one that deserves.
I think I'm gonna repurchase Shantae How Genie Hero because I own it for Wii and Wii U. You know, I got the soundtrack and the game, so I don't know what this Ultimate Edition. I'm assuming this shit is just a game with the DLC, unless they're giving you like a digital copy of the soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's the only other thing I could think of. I know the DLC will probably have to be the only like additional to it.
Yeah, so those are pretty much the indies and then like Battle Chasers, I want one because I think the box art looks cool. I don't know if that game's gonna be good, but like,
yeah, I need to start that on Xbox One.
Todd Oxtra had some mixed feelings about it, and then Fallen Legion, I think, is a game worthy of a physical copy.
I have to look into that game. I don't know if we talked about it or anything, but I had to look into it. I kind of want to see, I guess, more about this gameplay stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely, it looks cool, and like I almost pulled the trigger on the on the PS4 one because they're bundling. They put the Vita version on there now.
Yeah.
So like you can buy both of them and have them on PS4. And I almost did it. And then the next day they announced that it was coming to Switch. I was like, well, that sounds like a Switch game. So I'm gonna be doing that. So but
Look, I could combine two things in one. Play it on my TV and take it on the go.
Yeah. So I've literally pre-ordered every game from the Direct except for Donkey Kong because it's not available for pre-order yet from Amazon. So,
dude, I think I need to put some of the SNK fighters on my Switch before getting Street Fighter 30th anniversary, because I was at my cousin's daughter's birthday at this rental place. You know, they got like a fun center with it. And Tekken was there, and I'm playing a little bit of Tekken, but somehow it got stuck that if you put in one token, it comes up for two players. So you have to fight someone else. You can't fight the computer. It's very weird.
That's weird.
It was very weird. Yeah, it was very weird, and there was like no other like really good games besides like maybe House of the Dead. But I tried to play House of the Dead, and the gun wasn't working. I'm like, oh dang it, these arcades are like literally broken. So I'm literally at the party playing my Switch, playing Xenoblade Saga, and then not Xenoblade Saga, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then I switched it to Graceful Explosion Machine, playing that, and I'm just like, I need some SNK arcades on here, because if I'm not going to get an arcade experience at this fun house, like, I have to get it somewhere, and I think it's going to be definitely be on my Switch, because I was looking forward to the girl getting off, and I would be stuck playing Miss Pac-Man for the next 45 minutes. Like, that's how bad that I really wanted to play an arcade game. So yeah, I'm thinking of picking it up because I was just like, I need a 2D fire, and Street Fighter Third Strike or something Street Fighter related is not around.
Well, that's why I'm excited for SNK Heroines, because like yes, I
was rewatching it.
I cannot wait, and I was watching. They started putting more videos. Nintendo put the trailer that after the Direct they post all the trailers for the games that they showed or whatever. And like I was watching that trailer, and like the things you can do in that game, there's so much customization in that game that it's like I might actually get into this. And it's not because I'm like some weird like anime girl like freak or whatever, but like I think it's like looks like a cool fighting game, and the way you can customize your fighters and stuff looks really cool.
I was really looking, like you was talking about the art style, and I was looking at it, and I was just like, I need to play this on the TV, on a really big TV, and because it looks like this needs a better treatment as in this trailer needs to be longer, and I need to see more background, and I need to see more fighting, because this game is too good looking for this to give me a little bit of a taste and not be able to see more.
Yeah. So like I'm really excited for that, and like so like I went through all the games from the Direct. I'm like, do I really need all these? And I'm like, yes, I do. So
Payday 2 I could do without.
Yeah, but like I want to see. Like you and I talked about this. I think we're gonna do a co-op thing with that.
Yes.
And try to figure out why this game has such long legs. And so like I pre-ordered it. I don't know if I'll keep it. Like after we do that, like I want to see what it's about and everything, but I don't know if it's one of those games that I'll keep. But eventually I'll probably just keep it just because. But I mean,
like, I'm definitely gonna keep it, of course, because I keep all my games. But if we do that, and just throughout the months we just stop playing it, I'll bookshelf it and probably revisit it later on in some time. Because is it Starbreeze?
I don't know who does it. No, it's not Starbreeze.
No, not Starbreeze.
I don't remember who does it, but I know it's not Starbreeze. Hold on, let me look.
I don't know why they came to mind. It might be a different game. But I mean, I'll give it a try. I'm not gonna knock them or anything. But just from the Direct, I'm just like, this is the least interested one. Where everything else, I'm just like, yes, give to me. Nothing.
I mean,
So
I think it's cool that we're getting it, but like it's not like the one that I'm like waiting for. Like I think Dark Souls is a better get
yeah,
than Payday. Like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah,
yeah.
kind of that's kind of everything I picked up this week and played.
I,
And
if I play Dark Souls on the go, I think I'm gonna be bringing my Pro controller with me.
yeah,
Because I don't nothing against the Joy Cons for Dark Souls, but I think a game like that, I don't want to be mad and drop my Switch and be like, "Oh, great!" Just I kind of want to be able to just pop it and then just play it, like in the car while I'm waiting, uh, and play with my Pro controller. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to some news bits before we get into our topic. So what we're not gonna do a bunch of news this week. There's a little bit, but I think we're gonna save that for Friday's show.
Yes.
So we have a lot of people wrote in about the direct, and there were more than five, but like five key titles missing from the direct mini, and some analysts think we're going to get another direct as early as the first week of February, or some people are saying March, which I think my bet's on March, and I think we'll get an indie something in February. But there's five key titles, so we're going to hit on those. We're going to talk about if the Switch is getting too many Wii U and now DS ports, if they're getting too many ports from other systems, and then we're going to talk about five or 10 Wii U games that we think deserve to be ported to the Switch. So, so we're going to get started with some of these news bits. There's a rumor that Yoshi on Switch is coming in June, according to Amazon Italy, which they've been correct in the past, and usually June is a placeholder release date, but it's usually June 30th or like the end of a month or the end of a 6-month period or 3-month period. This says that Yoshi will be released on June 29th, 2018, which is not the last day of the month, and it is a Friday. So I mean, cool. I mean, that was one of the big games not mentioned in the direct. So, I mean,
we'll address that in the questions.
Yeah.
Because there was what game were we talking about for the summer? I think East 8 is the one that I was talking about in the summer. I could believe it happening in June because we got Bayonetta in February, Wolfenstein 2 in March. We don't have anything for Donkey Kong just yet, so something in April will have to come. And then there's they're like Dark Souls in May, and like Street Fighter.
Donkey Kong and Dark Souls are both in May.
In May, okay. So, well, that's 3 then, yeah, because the Street Fighter, Donkey Kong, and Dark Souls. Dang, May is packed with good games.
I know, and then I think like the rumor is the Mega Man stuff's coming in March, like the collections.
Yeah. Then maybe if we don't see anything we'll get into that. I don't really want to say anything but April has to have something for us.
I know,
because no one has nothing that I know of planned for April unless there's indie games.
Well,
but physical games.
I think Mario Tennis is going to be the April game, to be honest with you, because February we have Bayonetta 1 and 2 from Nintendo.
Yeah.
March is Kirby, and then possibly the Mega Man stuff. So April, I think, would be the month that we get Mario Tennis.
Doing the one big Nintendo release per month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because we're getting a bunch of stuff in May too, but Nintendo really only has one May game too, which is Donkey Kong. So
this Donkey Kong, yeah.
So I could see Yoshi in June.
Yeah.
That would line up. I mean, we're not really getting anything big this month from Nintendo, but February is a good starting point. I mean, we got a few things this month. Like we're getting the Rocket League physical edition, which I know Nintendo's kind of pushing because they have exclusive stuff in there for the Switch version. So, yeah, I think Mario Tennis is the April game, but Yoshi coming out in June really makes sense.
Yeah, but because it just makes sense until we find out what's coming for the remaining half of the year. And so not to spoil anything, but I think April, if we don't get a direct soon, I think April will probably be the fall direct, like the pre-planning for fall, and then E3 would be like the big announcements kind of for the rest of the year leading up to a little bit of 2019.
You know what else could be April too? Could be to go with Mario Tennis would be Wolfenstein.
Because Wolfenstein doesn't actually have an announced date, right?
No, it does not.
It just says spring 2018. Okay. You know what? I think that would be smart to put Wolfenstein in April because there be no for right now with PS4 and Microsoft and Xbox One. I don't know what their schedule list is for release of games, but if Wolfenstein is the big game for April, that's good sales for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Xbox, Sea of Thieves is in March, and then the leaked release date for Crackdown was May 21st, 2nd, whatever that kind of that second to last Tuesday is. So that would be Crackdown 2, and then State of Decay is floating around in there somewhere.
Oh, Crackdown 3.
Yeah, Crackdown 3. And then Sony really only has right now Shadow of the Colossus comes out in a couple weeks, and then God of War, which
that needs to really
probably March. I mean, they want something big to go up against Microsoft's first party thing, and I think no disrespect to Sea of Thieves, but I think God of War is a little bit more of a harder hitting game than Sea of Thieves. So
we'll see how. Well, this is more for Arsenal X, but we'll see how the beta goes for Sea of Thieves.
When is that?
It's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah,
I think you have to have the game pre-ordered.
Yeah, pre-order is one of them. You had to sign up for the test before some date last year, which I didn't do. I think Jesse is in it. I think Jesse got it, but I don't know yet. I gotta confirm with them because I really want to hear I really want to look and see what people do. I'm going to be trying to check out some Twitch streams and just see how people react to it. If there's good reaction to it, because I know we're automatically getting it. We're planning on getting that game.
Yeah.
I kind of see Sea of Thieves if it's in the high 9s, 9.5 or 4 out of 5 stars or whatever. If it has good ratings, I think a lot of people from the Microsoft side will be picking up that game. God of War and a lot of Sony games, I think me and you was discussing this. There's a rumor that a lot of them are in trouble or having a hard time with development or something like that with some of their Sony games. So I don't know how that's going.
I'm sure Nerds Gone Platinum is going to cover this week, but there was a feature on Game Informer that David Cage and Quantic Dream are in some really bad toxic work environment.
Yeah,
development hell over there, and it's what does that mean for
Detroit?
Detroit, because man, I don't know.
Yeah, I seen someone post something about them, and I got to check Polygon and Kotaku. But yeah, I just heard. I guess David Cage gave an interview, and there's just a whole bunch of drama stuff. But if they're having development problems, I think it's the
development problem is going to push that game to next year, at least.
That I think development problems is happening all around Sony Studios. I mean, if that's true, that's a big problem for Sony for 2018. So I know this is more for Nerds Gone Platinum and other PlayStation podcasts. But I'm like, if Sony is having a problematic year with their games and a lot of stuff is getting delayed, third party has got to come strong.
Yeah, I think like honestly, I think that really the only game, I mean, only big games I should say from Sony that I'm surprised PlayStation's doing as well as it is. I mean, not I expect it to do well, but like their only first party stuff that hasn't really had any development issues has been Gravity Rush and Horizon, are like the only two that haven't had any.
Yeah.
Uncharted got delayed like a year and a half because of, the Amy Hennig stuff. They rushed the order out because, they were trying to get launched. Ready at Dawn was like trying to make the cinematic experience, and Sony wanted to get a first party game out because at the time there was not a lot of like really quality software yet. And so, like, they hadn't really figured out that, the fall can be dominated by third parties and our partnerships with third parties, and we'll just figure out our first party stuff as it's starting to finish up. And besides, like, their partnerships with third parties for exclusives like Neo and Bloodborne and stuff like that, like, I am shocked that their development isn't more in trouble. Like, the only one that hasn't had any trouble is Horizon and like Lost Legacy, I guess, but like and Gravity Rush too. Like, those are the only big ones that I can really think of that haven't had any sort of like development. And
that might be the answer of why these games haven't really had any gameplay showings. Because Days Gone, I'm like, this game in no way looks like this and acts that way in that manner. You guys have been pulling this stunt for pushing this game, and you still don't have a release date. You still don't have no info. You still don't have a demo or anything for us to really get around heads.
I can't believe that like I can't if that game like Sony's gonna have to bite the bullet and put that game out this year, regardless of quality, because they don't want that game going up against The Last of Us. Like, zombies aren't a huge thing anymore, and I know technically they're not zombies, but they're zombies.
Well, this is and we'll get back into the Nintendo talk. I know. This might be why they're pushing VR so hard this year than they are their games, because if Detroit Become Human is having problems, if Days Gone having problems, if The Last of Us is not really getting pushed and marketed,
I think that team I think Naughty Dog secretly having issues too, because they had, one of the heads of the studio left, and then their lead animator that was fired like a year and a half ago said that it was a toxic kind of like, he was harassed or something, and like they didn't do anything about it, and like I know none of that's really come out, but I feel like that they're still having that issue over there too, and it's like it hasn't been made public, but you wonder what's going on over there.
Right. Only thing I could really give it to for right now is because we don't know much is Sucker Punch with Ghost of Tsushima. That's the only thing that's the only game besides Detroit Become Human that I could actually say that I'm looking forward to, and I feel like they're not having no development problems just yet, because that trailer that they showed was really strong, and I think once we start seeing more gameplay and getting more info, because Sucker Punch is good at their games. They're very talented.
I bet that game's gonna feel like an open world Ninja Gaiden.
I could see
with
that.
With RPG elements. I really feel that way.
I could see that.
I think that game, like, besides Horizon's out already, but like, I think that is the one game for PlayStation I'm like really, really looking forward to after God of War, because like I'm a big God of War fan. I like those games, and I'm interested to see how they change the series. And like, I know people are like, well, whatever about God of War, but I'm excited to play God of War. But after that, it's like, well, I'm more excited for Sony's third-party stuff, like, a Tomb Raider sequel. Please come to Switch. Than I am about anything else. So, So
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and another thing is like with all their development problems and like Microsoft not really getting a lot of first party stuff out there either. Like I think that's another place where Nintendo is shining is like their first party development is off the charts and not delayed and not having problems and
And
really
what
giving us something different.
and this is why we're going to probably save this discussion to what we speak about later about the topics of why we're looking forward to what Nintendo is going to be offering.
Yeah.
Like this is pre-talk for right now, and then we'll get into what the topic is. But go ahead to the second story, Corey.
Okay, so sorry, tangent. So Nintendo recently announced that Detective Pikachu is coming to the West for 3DS alongside a Pikachu-themed new 2DS XL and a Detective Pikachu amiibo figure. The amiibo figure is about 2.5 times the size of the Smash Brothers Pikachu amiibo, and will cost around $30. And it will be available on March 23rd. This is a big deal. I think they like a lot of people are like, why didn't it come to Switch? Well, first of all, it's been out in Japan for what, like a year on 3DS?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And that system has about 70 million units out in the wild. Look, the 3DS is popular and it's not going anywhere. We've been talking about it forever. Like, when will they kill the 3DS? They're not killing the 3DS. I'm sorry, not for a while. So like, I think it's cool that they're bringing it here, especially because that movie is coming. I think that's going to drive a lot of support for this thing. I think kids are going to be interested, and like the Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright games are really popular, and this is kind of in the same vein as those. Not really the same thing, but in that kind of like weird puzzly space. So,
and people, you got to think that the localization for this game is probably what made it take longer.
Yeah,
because they have to localize this game, and hopefully A4 Play did the localization, because Nintendo of America gets the game. I don't know if Tree Houses did the localization either, but they got to change jokes. They got to probably add some voice acting and stuff. Like, they got a lot of stuff to do. These games that come out from Japan, where they're not being translated during development for America, those games take longer for them to do than it is to actually do them both like side by side. Like something like Hyrule Warriors, because that's an action game. There's not that much translation that needs to be done in that game. Mm-hmm. But if there was a lot of Japanese text in that game, Tecmo Koei would have to, Koei Tecmo would have to hold that game off. We almost do the whole game for America and then bring it over here.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably it, and probably the amiibo, because I don't think Japan got an amiibo with their Detective Pikachu.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, we're getting a giant one now, so
I'll be buying it, of course.
Yeah, it looks cool. So, let's see. Do we want to do one or two more news stories? We'll do two more. So the world's best Smash Brothers for Wii U player is retiring. Zero, which is the top Smash Brothers player for Wii U, is retiring. Let's see here. He quotes, "The truth is that I've lost passion in current Smash 4. But I must clarify, this game is responsible for the most success I've had in my life and some of the fondest memories. I love this game, I really do. I love Smash Brothers in general as well. However, I don't have that fire that I used to have for Smash 4. I used to be able to push myself so easy without effort back in the day, but nowadays I pretty much have to force myself to do it. I anticipate I will want to participate once again in tournaments once the next iteration of Smash Bros. Is on the horizon. If that's Smash 5, Smash Switch, or even a big Smash 4 Deluxe update, that's going to be enough to bring me back to the scene. But for now, he has announced his retirement. He has a whopping winning streak of 53 games starting in 2015, or 53 tournaments since, hold on. most consecutive tournament wins with a whopping streak of 53 and has won dozens of tournaments themselves. So, highly talented Smash player is retiring. Yeah, that's the story.
Well, yeah. Sad to see you go. It happens to people that they retire. You know, sometimes you just not get bored, but when it feels like you can't do anything new in that game or do much more, then it's time to move on.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, the last news story comes from Nintendo Life. People are consistently looking for patterns in Nintendo's thinking. Often come up with absolutely nothing beyond a me and a dog and a hot dog costume, but Reddit user Natsor has discovered something of actual worth. Looking through the past schedules of Nintendo Direct presentations, it seems Nintendo has been quick in the past to follow up a Direct Mini with a full-fat Direct rather than just letting them sit as they are. There's a table here. So, a Mini Direct. The Mini Direct, so I'm just going to go through since 2012. July 18th, there was a Mini. In 2012, there was a Direct Mini, followed 12 days later by a full Direct. September 7th, 2012, there was a Direct Mini, followed 6 days later by a full Direct. October 3rd, 2012, Mini Direct. October 4th was a full Direct. And then we're going to go down here to 2013. October 29th, 2013, there's a Mini Direct. And then November 12th, 14 days later, there's a Direct. And then June 1st, 2015, and then 13 days later, there was a full Direct. And then November 2nd, followed 3 days later by a full Direct. So they also found that an extra slot on the Japanese Nintendo Direct, there was, you know how they always have the squares filled out for like when a Direct is coming, they start putting an extra block in there. Multiple people on Twitter and Reddit and all these other places screenshotted Japan's website saying that there will be one, and this one had already happened. And they also did it in on one of the other Nintendo regional websites, and then the Japan one. So we could be seeing another Direct somewhere within, I don't know, 3 to 20 days.
Yeah. I mean, I know me and you predicted that the next Direct, if it's a full Direct, is going to be the Nindies. Because Damon Hatfield, or Hammond, Dan Hammond, I believe. He does the Nindy stuff, so I think he's gonna do the next Direct.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a Nindies presentation in February. I really do. Like, once Super Meat Boy and Fury came out, now Rocket League's physical edition's coming out. Celeste is coming out at the end of the month. So like, I really think there's gonna be something in February because there's still games that haven't been released that were shown. So.
Right, and don't forget that Twitter, he released that. He was just like, hopefully you guys would like what we have to offer for 2018.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he knows some things and working on some things.
Yeah. So according to this chart, the latest whatever, which would be like 20 days, and that would put it on January 31st, which is, what is the 31st? I think it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which, we've gone on record saying like most Directs take place on Wednesdays, so like full Directs. So
and we haven't had any updates for 3DS, and we know they got games planned for it. So
yeah,
That's something that we could be looking for. And maybe they might include some of their mobile stuff.
Yeah, which this news story kind of takes us into our first topic, which is we had.
Well, before we get into that one, just shout out to everybody at Awesome Games Done Quickly. They raised 2.2 million for charity. So shout outs to them. Yeah, they did a good job. So go ahead.
So this kind of takes us into our first topic, which you can email us at nintendopalblock@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at NGRPalblock or on Instagram at NintendoPalblock, and join our Facebook group to follow the question block discussion thread. We got a lot of announcements and cool things from this Direct Mini, but there are 5 notable titles that were not shown in this direct mini. Yoshi, Wolfenstein 2, Fire Emblem. What were the other ones that I said earlier? We were just talking about this before the show.
Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4.
And Pokemon.
And then if you want to throw Bayonetta 3 in there as well, but I don't think we're going to see anything about that. So those were the 5 titles that we, as a Nintendo consumer, as a big Nintendo fan, those are the 5 titles that were not really talked about. So if we do get another Direct, do you think that these games will be mentioned in that Direct as some sort of,
No. The only one we'll probably get a mention for will be Wolfenstein 2.
You don't think Yoshi? You don't think Yoshi, if it gets a June release date,
If Yoshi comes, it won't be. If they do a Direct for Yoshi, it won't be until April, because I think we'll finally have a title. We'll finally have new amiibos for that Yoshi, and of course we'll get a release date and maybe a demo announcement. So they're waiting. They're probably getting a recording of gameplay and stuff with that, because it might still be in development. We don't know if the development finished or it's gone gold or anything. So they're working on that. Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon is still in development. People got to remember, Nintendo will show these games when they're ready to be shown.
Yeah.
When Nintendo says stuff is in development, it's in development, so don't go looking for anything, because they don't.
When they announced Pokemon, it was literally the director of the game sitting at a desk drawing. It wasn't even we didn't even get a logo. We didn't even get the generic Pokemon logo.
Right.
It's I think a lot of these games are going to be saved for if we see them at E3. I think you'll want to save Pokemon and Metroid for E3 and let everybody know how development's going on those games. But even then, it's
if they do anything for Pokemon at E3, it's going to be artwork. They're not going to show no gameplay. They're going to do more updates for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Those are going to be because they're out. So all they got to do is just release new info for that game. Mm-hmm. It's to still market it for hey, if you guys want to still play a Pokemon while waiting for the Switch one, go ahead and do it. I would rather for them to wait to the fall or close to October or November to show us Metroid and show us Pokemon, because now we have a good idea what we can be looking for, because we're going to be greedy if they show. I want them to show that E3, but we're going to be too greedy, because we're going to be upset if they don't show it for the rest of the year.
Right.
People are going to be mad. So
look, I think Nintendo has enough titles to keep everybody satisfied right now.
Yes.
And I think the only one that I was surprised, well, the 2 I was surprised weren't shown in this Direct were Yoshi and Wolfenstein 2. Fire Emblem, they just showed Fire Emblem for Switch, working title. Those games all only had title screens, or not even that, and so they said Fire Emblem was coming this year. I expect that to be fall at the earliest. I don't expect Metroid. I don't even expect this year. Pokemon, it's iffy, but I still think that's next year as well.
Yeah. I think Prime and Pokemon is next year. What I would think that they would show in this next Direct is that they show the Master Sword for Dark Souls. That could they if they could do it for if they could because everybody gonna be like, well, why don't Dark Souls have anything for the Legend of Zelda series? Well, what if Dark Souls somehow has some weird item from Earthbound? Like they could put any kind of they could put any Nintendo exclusive into a third party game, and knowing Bandai Namco, they probably are doing something crazy with that game that we're going to be unexpected. Because if they put something into Dark Souls, they're going to wait for a good direct to show that before May to whet our appetite.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even be thinking about Pokemon and Metroid and Yoshi and Wolfenstein and stuff like that. We'll be like, they got this item in Dark Souls. Okay, now I need to get this game on Switch.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna try to up the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I think Wolfenstein 2 will be the best bet because that was an unexpected game coming to Switch last year. You guys can see our little reactions to that.
Oh my gosh, that was
and if that's just going to garner more sales for Bethesda and everybody be like, okay, I'm ready to play this game on Switch. Like that, I would rather them take their time to give us a release date and show more of how Wolfenstein is going to be in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we got a ton this direct mini. I wouldn't be shocked if we got a full on direct, but at the same time, we already know so much that's happening between now and then, and like the only thing that really matters to me now is like, I told you like I would really like more of a roadmap, but we already have like a basic layout. So like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I already have too much to play on Switch, let alone my other systems. Like if they need to take their time, because like we've never really been in this position before, where like we're getting big Nintendo releases every month, whether they're ports or whether they're new games or additions. And going back to our what games might be coming in April, Hyrule Warriors is probably another one that's coming in April.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, if like my roadmap here, let's put Mario Tennis and Hyrule Warriors in April, right?
And everybody okay, so we thought that EA was going to stop making games for Switch. Now it seems that idea has turned around because I think Nintendo and EA made a talk. EA probably is in such a bad light that I think they rethought their marketing because it looks like they're going to be putting more games on Switch in the future.
Yeah, I saw that too. But I was going to talk about that, but at the same time, it's like they didn't really have any concrete like what games are coming. I know sales numbers for FIFA in Europe were really like EA said they were pleased with FIFA sales numbers in Europe. I don't know how well they sold compared to the other systems, but that's a good sign. And Faye is coming, so this roadmap here. I just want to get through this, and then we'll add games into where we think they're going to be slotted in. Like Super Meat Boy, Fury, Rocket League Physical Edition, and Lost Sphere are the big January games.
Right.
So, we're almost at the end of January. Lost Sphere Physical Edition is only available on SquareEnix.com, so if you want that physical edition, you have to pre-order it from Square themselves.
Yes.
And then February, we're getting Faye and Bayonetta 1 and 2 and Payday 2, and then March, we're getting Kirby, the Atelier RPG, we're getting in March. April, Shantae and Fallen Legion are scheduled for April, but we also think Mario Tennis and Hyrule Warriors are in April.
And we don't know about Murphy's Law and like some of the indie stuff that was supposed to come out last year that hasn't dropped. Like, so, when we get dates for that, we'll fill it in also.
Right. And then in May, we're getting Donkey Kong and Dark Souls, and June Yoshi. Like that's like 20 games right there for Switch owners. Like,
and that's why I add that Street Fighter collection for May. Like that's 3 bit. Like dude, 12 arcade games versions of Street Fighter. Dark Souls, and Donkey Kong, dude, that's like 15. That's 14 games right there.
Plus, like the Mega Man collections that are coming, and whatever else Capcom decides to announce tonight at 11:30.
Right.
I think Nintendo's in a very good position where it's not the Wii U position where like maybe we're getting one huge game every fall and like a couple other sporadic things, and then waiting for third-party support if there's any, and waiting for an indie support if there's any, and then switching between 3DS and Wii U, like.
And we didn't even fit in Mega Man 11 yet.
Yeah, which I mean they've confirmed that it's fall, so which
okay.
All the Mega Man stuff is getting physical releases on Switch. Yes, so excited.
Yes,
but we've got a ton to look forward to on this system, and Nintendo's in a great position, like I said earlier, like to delay games, or not really delay them, but take their time on these development cycles. Right. And when we stop getting this type of support, then we could talk about, oh well, why are these games taking so long, whatever. But until then, it's like we've got enough of this. Plus, Wolfenstein needs a release date.
And everybody, you got to remember, almost each week, ever since last year, unexpected third-party or indie games just get announced throughout the week on Twitter.
Right.
The Mutant Must collection. We didn't expect that to be on Switch. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that is adding to the like we said, third party and indie games are kind of now in the same boat. Indie games are now considered as third party. If that list continues to grow, whether you're doing physical or digital for games, you're going to have a big list. And if these companies are announcing stuff on their Twitter page, on Nintendo Life, on Destructoid, that's just adding more. And even if we don't get a release date, that's more to the list that we have to add that we can look forward to.
Yeah. So, plus, there's Nintendo's doing a better job of keeping people engaged with the games that are already out too. Zelda had an expansion pass which had awesome DLC.
Yes.
Xenoblade's getting DLC all next year. Fire Emblem Warriors getting DLC through the first half of this year. ARMS just finished their 6-month free DLC run.
Pokken DX is
getting it. Mario plus Rabbids, they just announced their first story DLC that's coming this spring. So like, not only are we getting great third-party support, great indie support, fantastic first-party support, but Nintendo's doing a great job of keeping the games in your console by adding expansions, by adding free content. Like the February Mario update is just something really dumb to add to the game, but it's going to keep people going, and it's going to be interesting to see what speedrunners and people who can almost break the game by how great they are at platforming do with that, So, man.
Now,
the other big game we didn't mention that wasn't in this direct either was Project Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, but that we're still waiting for the title of that game. So Square Enix is taking their time.
Look, as fantastic as that game, like that demo is, take your time, Square. Please, just make that game the best game it can possibly be. And we did talk about that team tweeting out the main character from Bravely Default with a Switch in her pocket. I'm just saying that announcement might be coming soon at some point.
Please don't.
Okay, so
because you already know it's a day one purchase. Like Bravely Default is the first one is a little bit difficult at sometimes, but it's such a great game. To see that on my TV screen, I'd be like, oh, this looks so beautiful. Like I would have to look at my 3DS and just be like, thank you for making Square Enix a lot of money for them to really want to support Nintendo.
The other game that's coming out in February too is Dragon Quest Builders on the 9th. So
yes.
So I need to update this roadmap here, but it's okay. I think the Switch is in a great position. I'm having so much fun with the games I already own. I think I own like over 20 physical copies. So
I need to get it to your level because, like FIFA 17, I still need to buy. And
so
yeah,
but we're gonna move on to our next topic, which some people are kind of disappointed that a lot of the games, except for maybe like 2 or 3, are direct ports or like some sort of port with additional content to the Switch. And this is also a topic on NGR sides this week, so we do talk about it a little bit there. But this is the show where I think we can kind of get into it a little bit. Before we really dig into it, I think Nintendo is all about its legacy and having people experience its legacy. And when one of their systems isn't as popular as the rest of them, they want to do the best job they can of making sure people experience their legacy. That's why Virtual Console was so big and so important. That's why porting some of the Wii and Wii U's more popular games over to 3DS was important. And I think, that's no different with the Switch. I think porting great games like The World Ends With You or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, one of the most underrated games, I think, for Wii U, over to the Switch. Getting something like Dark Souls is very important because it shows Nintendo kind of, even though it's a port, Nintendo's really changing their views on what kind of third-party support they get and mature titles. You look at the mature titles on Switch, even though most of them are ports, like L.A. Noire, Doom, Wolfenstein, Dark Souls, Bayonetta. Like, Nintendo's going out of their way to publish Bayonetta again, and that tells me something about Nintendo and how they want people to see their legacy. And I don't really care about ports. I like having the newest version of old games because like I like having like Final Fantasy 10 and 12, for example.
yes,
2 very great RPGs on PS2. For a long time, those were locked on that system, but we got the HD remasters. Kingdom Hearts, a very popular franchise, updated for PS4, and now we can play them there. I think ports in a lot of ways are a good thing, because it allows you to play games that you're nostalgic for in the best possible way, in the most updated way. I think nostalgia plays a lot into it, especially on Nintendo consoles. But at the same time, it's important it's important for the legacy.
Yeah. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One went through 2 years full of ports. And there was complaints about that because it's just like, we want to play these next-gen games. And it kind of took a while for developers to really to make original content or sequels to these systems, because as powerful as the system is, you still got to learn the tech. And with Switch, I think a lot of third-party people are still learning the tech and downscaling some things. And you got to think also, third-party thought that none of the games would sell on a Nintendo console. It's not because the Nintendo Switch is hot. They put these third parties put it out, and they're seeing the positive talk about these ports. They're seeing people get these ports, and if they would have did this to the Wii U would have been popular. Third party had a fear that their games weren't going to sell on the Nintendo console, even after people said that they want this game on a Nintendo console.
And at the beginning of the Switch's lifespan, like, that was their fear too. And then they saw people I think what really allowed third parties to start thriving on Switch is the popularity of the indies, and like them really seeing an opportunity from moving from a platform like the Vita, for example, and moving their game to Switch, because a lot of people are buying these games on PS4, but they're like, the Vita was an indie powerhouse. They showcased a ton of great games, showcased a lot of great indies. Fallen Legion is an example of, and Guacamelee also are examples of great indie games that were, for all intents and purposes, stuck on the Vita for a long time, and then you port them to Guacamelee got ported to the Wii U, and I would love to see either Guacamelee or Guacamelee 2 get ported to Switch.
They were surprised on how much money they made off the Wii U version.
Yeah.
Like people were just like, this needed to be on after they did good sales on it, proving themselves that they're a great developer on PlayStation 3. When they put that mug on Wii U, they saw people get hyped about that game and was glad that it was coming to their system.
Yeah.
And just like you said, indies, if you look at some of the headlines for indies and them saying how well that their game sold on Switch and making them money, you don't normally hear that about AAA titles nowadays, because of course they have to share their games on majority platforms to make up their budget, to make that money back. But if one indie game is selling 50,000 copies off of one system and they're putting them in the black, the third party should have been like, oh, okay, 50,000 copies, that's not bad. What if we could get 50,000 copies at $60 a pop?
Well, you look at, plus, like, if you're a AAA developer and, like, we're only using 50,000 as a baseline, right? And, like, but you look at a AAA developer and they're saying if this indie game could get $50,000 a pop on this console and with no marketing or no, like, real help in that department, unless they're featured in a Nintendo Direct or a showcase or whatever, like, what if we could sell 250,000 copies? Would it be worth us porting it over? And porting is a lot cheaper now than it was when the Wii U came out, right? It was something like, it costs, I forget what a dev kit costs for the Wii U, but a dev kit for the Switch is like a quarter of the cost of the Wii U dev kit to port it over. And so you take all that into consideration, and that's why, Bethesda in particular is like really going crazy porting stuff to the Switch.
A lot of people got to realize, when Doom came out for PS4 and Xbox One, where was let's get this game to 1 million hashtag at?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that on Switch. There has not been no kind of fan base ever doing it for those other two consoles. You're doing it for a console that's low power, but the sales are doing like amazing. I'm waiting for a hot third party title to have let's get this to 1 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wonder how long. The one that really bothers me right now, like today in particular, is Assassin's Creed Rogue, which was a game stuck on last gen platform, and it's being ported in March to Xbox One and PS4. And I was like, well, where's the Switch version? Because that ran on 360 and PS3. This would be a perfect time to get the franchise on a Nintendo system, back on a Nintendo system. It would be the perfect game because a lot of people missed it. So why not? But I mean, maybe we'll get one down the road, but that was just kind of like the shock to me. It was like, out of all the games that could be ported to this console, why not this one?
I think because they probably feel like the Assassin's Creed brand doesn't fit Nintendo because of what the sale numbers of Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag.
I know, but it's still a new console, and I think
Black Flag was kind of robbed on Wii U with some of the features and stuff missing, because a lot of people did enjoy that game on Wii U and
still
did buy it.
94.2% done with that game because of the online features not being there.
But I think Ubisoft is enjoying the success of Mario plus Rabbids. So I think if they would have bought Assassin's Creed Rogue to a Switch, and I agree with you on this, I think that game would do phenomenal.
I bet it would sell better. Like, in all honesty, like, I think Rogue would sell better on Switch than it would on PS4 and Xbox One, just because, like, I think people had their fill of those other games on the other consoles, whereas, like, people would be like, oh, I would love just like this big world to go explore.
that Assassin's Creed the Ezio collection where the dude had the bug eyes. It's like he was really jacked up in the cutscenes and stuff. I think they're going to try to avoid that with Rogue. But I feel like if you could have got this game working on Switch, I think people would pick it up. Like I said, I would prefer Watch Dogs 2 to be on Switch over Assassin's Creed Rogue. Or over the Assassin's Creed games, because I think Watch Dogs 2 kind of got robbed, and I think it would, if Switch was able to handle it, even if they had to downscale it some, I think that game would sell better on Switch than it did on the other two systems.
Yeah.
You know, I will even take the Call of Duty Black Ops series if Activision want to get in the game.
Yeah.
And the reason why can I say because I think it was Black Ops 2 did good on Wii U and everybody was playing that version. They preferred that game. So if they wanted to test the waters, hey, just bring the Black Ops compilation to Switch and let's see how it do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm all for ports to the Switch because like I think it helps preserve the legacy, and I think it helps build a strong library too, you know.
Yeah, the fans are marketing this game.
Yeah.
Where the other companies don't have to do nothing. They could bring it out, do some commercials, and if the talk of the town, whether it's on social media or actually in person, people are doing it and talking about it, or you go to PAX and you see what a lot of people playing your games and stuff like that, that's going to sell the game. I'm still waiting to see stuff like that happen on PS4, Xbox One, where the talk of the town of your game is not built on name alone, but actually people are playing it and saying that the game feels great and this stuff works and this part looks good and you can't believe that this is running. Like if you can have that conversation where it's selling the game, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, that belongs on PS4, Xbox One. But they don't get that talk.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ports, we're going to go into our final topic here and then kind of get out of here.
And hurry up, bring my DMC Devil May Cry because I need some demons on the go.
And Tomb Raider, please. Thanks.
Yes. Both of them.
But I want to talk about, since we've gotten a few Wii U ports over to Switch, and we could talk all day about like what franchises we want on Switch really bad and like what games we think deserve to be ported over Switch. I'm talking about Wii U and maybe Wii in particular, those two systems in particular, on what games from those two systems you think would benefit from a Switch port.
Let's see. I think Epic Mickey would. From Wii. I
did not see that coming out of your mouth, Ed.
I think because of the paintbrush and not being able to like really kind of play it standard, I think Epic Mickey, like for $19.99, like put a collection of 1 and 2 on it, so people who can use the Joy-Cons, that might be a little bit easier. Or if you want to do it with the Pro Controller, I think the control for that game on Switch will open up more options for it to get played. Another one definitely for me would
you package Epic Mickey 1 and 2 as a collection?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Sky might have froze me, but yeah, I will do that for a collection. A Boy in This Block, and that really got missed And I know it's on PS4, but that really got missed on Wii. And I think a lot of people will be amazed on how beautiful that game will look on Switch. I think we'll learn, still they could fix some of the jumping and fix some of the physics of that game. But if they could wait for it to tighten that mug up and just release it on Switch, heck yeah, and give me a physical. I would pay $40 for that. That game is beautiful. Capcom versus no, Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That needs a remake on Switch. That needs the arcade port for it, because it's one of the hardest games to find, and I think that was the fighter that changed kind of the whole fighting genre of Capcom. Instead of having 6 buttons, it's like 4 buttons or 3 buttons, a light and a heavy, and then like some other stuff. But it's such a great game. And I think that one got missed for it being on the Wii, because look at Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It stole the button pattern from that game, and as mediocre that game was, people would prefer Tatsunoko versus Capcom. So yeah, those are some like Wii games that I could see. We already know that Super Mario 3D World, Mario Maker, Xenoblade Chronicles X, like we already, as hopefully that
Captain Toad.
Captain Toad, yeah.
The one Wii U game I think really deserves a Switch port, and I think, you know, with everybody begging for Persona to come to Switch, would be Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah,
I think that's like the one game that's left on the Wii U that's like, man, I really want that game on Switch, just because, like, dude, it gives everybody that Persona style game that everybody wants. It will give you some time between now and Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, I think that just makes perfect sense, you know, and you know, we did that Let's Pod and Play of it, and like playing it was really, really fun. And then I just never got back around to playing it because I was busy playing Switch and, you know, other systems.
Fatal Frame, the Black Maiden, Tale of the Black Maiden, that one, the one that came on Wii U. Not a lot of people got it, but I think if they fix some of the problems, that would be a great game to play. You know, to have that game on the go and actually using the camera to go into real life places and stuff, that would literally be cool. A game that actually did get missed, Bionic Commando, that was on Xbox 360 and PS3. That indie game, I think that would be good, and the Strider game for Capcom. I think those two indie games will do good. I know they didn't come on the other systems, but heck, shoot, bring those over. Shoot, what else? Oh goodness. My Wii U games is like stuff by my TV and I can't see them because they turn where the blue part is at underneath the boxes.
Metroid Prime Trilogy, I think.
The Resident Evil first person shooter game, House of the Dead Overkill. That's just be a lot of cussing. That game. Cooking Mama probably. I think will, as weird as it seems, Cooking Mama returning back to a console on Switch. I think that would be good.
Mm-hmm. I think stuff like, to pull in like that DS crowd, I think something like Brain Age would be well received.
Yeah,
especially with like the touchscreen stuff. Maybe sell it with a pressure stylus or whatever.
A lot of people want Nintendogs and Nintencats on Switch.
Yeah, I mean Nintendogs makes perfect sense. You know, it's a portable system that's always with you. And
Nintendo Land, I think if they gotta do a Nintendo Land too, people would probably prefer. But I think Nintendo Land and 1-2 Switch as a demo package, if they ever for revised Switch, I don't know what that would mean. Would be nice. Yeah. I could see that happening.
Yeah. I think, you know, I think there should be a Wii Sports 2.
Yes.
I think, you know, Wii Sports, we got the Wii U one on the Wii Sports Club, but I think Wii Sports is just such an iconic game, and I know they want to get away from the Wii name and whatever, but if you just named it like Wii Sports HD or Wii Sports 2 or I don't know, I think it would be really smart for them just to have something like that again, because like 1-2 Switch, as cool of like a tech demo-y type thing as it was not what people wanted from something like that. They wanted Nintendo Land, they wanted Wii Sports, and I think Wii Sports, just, you know, how iconic that franchise is, and people are old enough to be nostalgic about it already. So
right.
I think
oh, go ahead. I think Wii Fit U will be good because a lot of people who want to lose weight and still work out. You know, there's a lot of good stories that people changed their diet and they laughed at Wii Fit U, but they was like, you know what, I'm gonna do 2 months of this and see what happens. And a lot of people were losing weight and were getting fit and was kind of thinking we Fit U, and they kind of felt bad when they missed not weighing themselves on the balance board. You know, and even if they brought like a mat or something to kind of resonate with it, or like fix the Wii Fit board, or the Wii U board, whatever. I think that would be something still good. You know, getting something healthy for people to do. So that's I think Wii Fit U would do fine. We already said Zombie U and all the other stuff in the past. Yeah. No More Heroes, I think would do great 1 and 2.
Yeah, especially like with Travis Strikes Back coming soon. Like, I think that would be smart.
There was that one that Ubisoft did with the sword, and I cannot think.
Red Steel, no thanks.
Red Steel, Red Steel 2.
Red Steel 2 was good, but I mean, like, if you release Red Steel 2, you'd have to release Red Steel 1, and it's just like, do you really want to do that? No, you don't.
As for a joke budget game, yes.
Please, gosh, no.
$15 for that version. Would you do it?
No.
If they fix control.
No, gosh, dude, that was like, I bought that game with Zelda the day the Wii came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this game's awful. Like, I was like, I was struck with fear. I was like, oh no, is this what the system's gonna be? Because the motion controls were like not great, and then I was like, because that was like the first game I tested out, because I was like, well, I want to play Zelda, but I want to make sure I get some time in with this other game, and I was like, oh no. Oh no! No! But then I played Twilight Princess and Wii Sports. I was like, okay.
And of course, you know, back to Wii, WiiWare, still looking for that Contra Rebirth collection. Come on and bring it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Nintendo Power Block. It's been a doozy. So remember, we're gonna do a full Power Block next week, or next episode. Gosh, next week. I keep thinking that I don't know what day it is. For Friday's episode, we're gonna try to do a Power question block episode. So you can email us at nintendopowerblock@gmail.com, or follow us on Facebook and look for the question thread at facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Power Block, and then follow us at NGR Power Block and Nintendo Power Block on Twitter and Instagram respectively. Let's see what else. NGRradio.com. People are starting to write again, so you can check out some stuff there. I'm excited to continue. So
I got to get some stuff up there.
Yeah. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me at Twitter at @RetroCode. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. And hey, Pop Blockers, we have an awesome contest happening. We want to hear from you and would love to have your questions. Not just any question, though. Email us at nintendopopblock@gmail.com with the out-the-box Nintendo question for our expansion pack episode that you only can catch on NGR Radio's YouTube page. And the winner that is chosen not only will win a Super Mario Bros. iHome over-the-ear headphones, headphones, which also has a microphone. But your question will be dedicated for the show. You have until January 27th, and we want you guys to title the email NPB Expand EXPAN contest. The question and winner will be announced when the episode is released. So get it in and have fun thinking. You guys can go to our Facebook page of Nintendo Power Block to see how the headphones look and get that information. So yeah, check that out, everybody, and hopefully one of you guys will win. It's a real cool headset. I think you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's about it for me. My Nintendo Switch code is up on Power Block if you guys want to friend me there. I need to throw my 3DS and 2DS friend code also up there.
Yeah, I need to repost mine too.
Yeah.
So, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CorianHD. You can find me on a plethora of NGR Radio podcasts. Remember, expansion pack goes up on what I say went up on Thursdays at noon.
Yeah, I think.
I need to check. I'm sorry. Wow. I want to get it right because there's. Oh, man, I forget. I'm so bad at this.
Oh, it's a lot to process and think. I still got to get my top 10 list up.
I just need to make a schedule in my phone about when everything goes up. Honestly, to be.
We have a lot of content, everybody.
Yeah, well, especially like lately, we are trying to expand into like doing more YouTube stuff. So.
Yes.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Wednesdays at noon. Nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I lied. Mondays at noon. Yeah. Mondays at noon. Expansion pack. The newest episode is what interesting things could Nintendo do with their multiplayer games. So hope you check that out. They're meant to be little short videos, about 15 to 20 minutes ish. So those are up. There are 2 up already, so please check them out. And also each individual show has their own kind of short video presentation for YouTube. So like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Check out ngrradio.com for all of your podcasting and reading pleasures. And until next time, we love you.
See you later, everybody. Woohoo!
Yes.